Hey guys, Steve from Suspended Ceilings Queensland here, back with another end user ceiling tile review. And what do I have for you today? None other than Armstrong Ultima. Let's get amongst it. Here we go. Okay, it's most people in the ceiling world know of the Ultima, and the reason for that is it is the most commonly specified tile in Australian schools. So let's have a little bit of a talk about why that is, what's good about it, if there's anything bad about it, and move forward from there. Okay, so Ultima comes in different edge configurations. So the most standard is square, but it does come in a skinny, a concealed grid version. So heaps of different options there with its configuration. But like I said, the most standard is just a 1200 by 600 in a square edge. That's where you'll commonly find the tile. It's 19 mil. It has, give us a look here, we've got an NRC of 0.7, which is respectable by anyone's standard, so that's certainly above the economy level, and we're stepping up to a more premium tile here. And we've got a CAC of 41, which is high, and that's the big kicker that we'll talk about here, is that CAC value. So we'll get some of what I find the negative things out of the way a little bit just to start off with, which purely comes down to the fact that it's mineral fibre. So mineral fibre can damage easily and generally does not like to get wet. So if you've got roof leaks or if the tile cops a bit of abuse, or so in an area where you say you've got like a martial arts school or an area with a fairly low ceiling height with kids, or if they're like my kids anyway, that tend to throw things around and constantly in trouble for it. But those things can damage tiles, so it's one of those things you got to put it in there and leave it, and then if you do it like that, yeah, it'll last for years. Okay, other things too, at times depending on suppliers and whatever, from a slightly negative point of view, we find, for us at least, we have a little bit of problems providing good value. It tends to be a slightly higher pricing on the tile compared to what we can provide, something like, say here, from like an AMF. So which is its direct competitor, we'll put them together, and which is also interesting to see the tile surfaces there. But as soon as we come back here, and that's only about a foot away from the camera, but I mean, once we get it up into a ceiling, I can't tell the difference, and I put these things in all the time. So, but so from a value perspective, sometimes, and for other contractors I talk to as well, can have the same problem as providing a really good value, which is always a huge consideration to any brand new ceiling. But let's have a talk about some of the positives about the tile, and there's plenty, and there's a reason why it gets specified for that spot in Queensland schools. Okay, so what's good about it? We've got that finish. It looks good. So anything that's smooth always looks good, and I find clients love it. I have successfully cleaned these tiles in the past. I was in a hospital, so I had a couple of apprentices when I was working for another company, actually about 10 years ago, and one of the first jobs was to supervise the apprentices cleaning the tiles that they'd put their grubby fingerprints on because they didn't wear gloves like they were meant to. But what this highlights is the fact that it can be done, and they can be cleaned off. I think it was a little bit harder to clean off than some of the other ones on the market, but cleanable nevertheless. And I mean, with a quality installer, they shouldn't be marking the tile to start with. So if you've got a very experienced contractor, it's not an issue. It's only when you'll get someone else come in later on, or a spider or whatever. So, but can be cleaned. Acoustically wise, it's a beast. 0.7 is great, and that high CAC value is really good for privacy. So over the top of walls, if you've got anywhere, so schools, but that also doubles up with offices, meeting rooms, conference rooms, anywhere where you don't particularly want someone listening to what you have to say. Or, well, maybe sometimes they're not interested in what you have to say either. So if I'm working in one room, I don't particularly want to hear on what's going on next door, and neither does whoever I'm talking to. So it really does excel in that area. So when it comes up to that, like if you're after something with that privacy that looks Yeah, with a great acoustic effect as well, like for phone calls, meetings, whatever. So you've got those two acoustic elements there, plus the fact that it actually looks very, very good. That's why it's got its position as being specified in those schools that it has. Um, so depending on the particular installer and whether or not, if you can get these installed for a good value at a good price, definitely consider having it there. So, like I said, it's definitely not. It wouldn't be considered as an entry-level tile, so it is a premium tile, and it does most definitely get a premium effect. And from Armstrong, they offer outstanding warranties with their tile, especially when you put it in their grid. So yeah, it's actually at times class leading in that regard. So, and Armstrong have been around a very, very long time. It's a reputable company, and they put out a lot of great products. So if that sort of that mid to higher end range tile is what you're looking for, you're after that premium effect, definitely have a look at Armstrong Ultima. Like the channel, look in the links below, and I'll add links to more reviews. And take care and stay safe out there on site, guys.